Alright everybody, today we're going to do a different style of video. We're not going to do a gaming style video, so all you people who have tuned in expecting to see some kind of gaming malarkey going on and stuff to do with the new arcade, sorry about that, but we'll put some links to other videos to do with that. So this is going to be a non-arcade video. So for a while now, anybody who's followed any of the other posts I've done on other forums and other sites and things like that will know that I have been a huge supporter of Media Center, Microsoft's product. Unfortunately in Windows 8 they seem to have dropped support for it and made it now a paid product if you really want it. This is the old Windows 7 Media Center that you're seeing up here on this screen. I've been a huge fan of it because, well, frankly, I didn't want to have to rummage around in shelves and things like that for DVDs. I just wanted them onto a big media server, which I built a few years ago. And the other thing as well is I just cannot be bothered subscribing to Netflix and Lovefilm and paying to basically watch what I already have on a shelf next to the, or I used to have on a shelf next to the TV in the living room. There's nothing worse as well than when you come home from work or whatever and you go, hey, I want to watch such and such tonight. I want to watch, say, Aliens, and you go to put find the movie disc and hey, lo and behold, somebody's borrowed disc 2 and you can't find it anymore. So anyway, so this is Media Center up here, and today this is its last day. This is the last one in the house to go. I have been changing over to Apple TV recently, and that's because I've managed to get Plex Media Server to work, and thankfully through some wonderful online instructions. So what we're going to do today is, this plasma TV is an old one that I've had kicking around for a long time. You can see it's flickering like crazy because it's still plasma based and kind of works on a refresh rate. But to be honest, the display is getting knackered and old and starting to fail, and sometimes when you start it up there's like big lines starting on this side of the screen here, and there's pixelation that you probably can't quite see, and all sorts of things. So I'm also going to change the TV out as well. This one hasn't got HDMI, it's got DVI, which is great. I could send HDMI from the Apple TV up to DVI without any trouble whatsoever, but then I have an absolute nightmare with the audio because it's how the heck do I get audio from the Apple TV? Its only other audio option is optical link. So ideally it's HDMI or HDMI plus optical, and this TV doesn't have an optical, and the speakers that I've been using, because the speakers on this TV are pants, these 2.1 speakers, the bass bin by the way is hidden down the back of that cabinet there, are actually a lot better for this room, and the acoustics are great when you're watching TV in bed and things like that. So it's time to say goodbye to this old plasma TV as well, which will probably be making its way to the arcade for some use or other. We'll find some use for it. It's a heavy thing though, so I don't know where the heck this one's going to go. I'm going to find somebody who wants to take it away, and maybe I'd donate it to somebody I don't know. Hey, you know, first the 69th person to post a comment underneath can have it for free. Hey, will I hear about that? No. Maybe? I don't know. Let's try it. See if we can get 69 comments on this video. Anyway, so we're going to take this old TV out of the way. I'm going to have to clear out all these cabinets in the way first because it's a heavy beast and I'm on my own. I should be able to lift it quite happily. I know where all the grab points are on it. So, I've done it before as well. Taking him down is a lot easier than putting him up, so I'll just disconnect everything. So I'm going to go ahead and set the tripod up and move some crap out of the way, and hopefully fit a new LCD TV up there with a bracket and everything, which I've got sat in the hallway, and well, get the Apple TV hooked up and hopefully in a couple of hours be watching stuff off Plex. And I'll take you for a little tour around Plex Media Server as well. Alright, so let's power this thing down for the last time. Settings, shut down, shut down. And that's it, bye bye Media Center. So I've had a Media Center PC and it's been actually stuck behind this wall in the closet for a good 2 or 3 years, and I don't know what we're going to do with that next. But basically I've fitted a switch behind here to apply and remove power from it. So the next step is going to be, let's clear all this off and then we can get to the TV and physically get it off the wall. Shift this cabinet out of the way, and who knows, there's things that have fallen off the back of this TV, sorry, down the back of the cabinet here over the years, and yeah, it's got pretty dusty. I only need to move it along just enough so I can get behind to actually pick things up. What's that? No. Everybody should never be out without a few imperial screws down the back of things. This is a safety first kind of thing. Safety first, vanity second. So we've got lots and lots and lots of things that are just kind of in the way. And thinking about it, I'm expecting an interruption from a friend shortly, so if that happens we'll pause the video. He wants to come and pick his Dremel up. Really, on a Sunday? Shouldn't be out having like a family drive or something like that? I don't know. So, same as everybody else, we have a 4-way mounted on the side of a cabinet here, which is always, you never have enough plug sockets. Ever. Ever have enough plug sockets. So I'm just going to move this cabinet around, just check behind here. Hey, yeah, we found some stuff on the floor. So we've got down here a Sega something or other. Looks like chapstick. Okay, and TSA, don't know what the heck that is. Anyway, not important. I'll take that down. This is what is this anyway? This is a little reindeer thing that the boy got and gave to me just after Christmas one year. Said, hey, take that back to your place and put it in the office. Well, it's never lived in the office, it's always been in here. So behind here we have like a whole bunch of stuff and dust and things like that have accumulated, which is normal. Under here we got DVI cables. I went to great lengths to hide all the cabling out of the way. Okay, so we have some cables that hang down there, and they should be relatively free. Yeah, by the looks of things. Okay, let's just have a look at that one. Where's that going? Aha, there's a USB connector just hanging out the wall there nicely. So we can disconnect that. This was Media Center needed a remote control to make it any kind of use. So that was its remote, and that was the receiver for it. One of the problems I always had with PCs trying to run Media Center for me and for customers I used to sell the systems to was that you tried to put them into a full shutdown mode and they just wouldn't stay asleep. So you put them into sleep and they just wouldn't stay. And, keep waking up after sort of 3 or 4 minutes. So, okay. Just need to take that one off the top as well. Now that one seems to be going all the way through the wall. You know what? I'm going to reuse that, but I'm not sure how I did the connection behind there, so it'll be fine to just drop down like that for a few minutes whilst I find it. Because this is like a whole maze of wires going backwards and forwards in and out of the wall and through weird hookups and things like that. So it will definitely go to some kind of extender, because where the base bin is down there, the cables have to go along that piece of trunking and through a little hole in the corner. So here's the PC. We need to detach the cables off that. Now this bad boy's coming out, we're never going to use this again. And the other thing as well is that Freeview, when I want to watch TV, is just not. I have to watch it through a capture card inside this PC. So that's the PC that was in there. So that's all done with now. You know what, I'm not going to disconnect that speaker because I'm going to need it afterwards, because I want to carry on using the 5.1 if we, 3.1 if we can. So, next step is that in a position to lift? No, it's not. Aha, that's because somebody put bolts in under here. Alright, I've got to go get myself adjustable spanner. If you haven't got one of these, I highly recommend you get one, because these are invaluable for doing arcade things, because you never know when you're going to have a nut and bolt that you need to get behind somewhere and then torque it, and they come with a torque bar at the bottom, so you stick that through one of these holes and it gives you a bit more lift and grunt. So underneath here are 2 bolts. Yeah, that's the size. Mine do, just twist them a little bit. That's one almost out. Yay, one out. So these bolts go up into 2 holes underneath here. I'm doing it as much as I can from a static camera position as well. Well, the second one's now free. Almost. Two out. With any luck. So what should happen now is this TV should be able to, yeah, it can't do it, can swing out. Now this is unbelievably heavy, this one, so let me check I've got clearance to lift. Yep, I'm okay. So all I have to do is get ready to take the strain. So let's prepare ourselves. Take a little sip of water. Okay, which is going to be the best way to do this. Like so. Okay, and there we are. It's off the wall. Let's put it. You won't believe how heavy that actually is. And I'll slide that along there, out of the way. It slides unbelievably easily. Okay. So what I need to do is just basically remove this bracket from the wall. Take that off and then put the new bracket on there. I can leave. I'll have to take some of this cabling off because that DVI, in fact, let's strip the cabling out that we don't need right now. Let's do that now. So we can reuse these little clips, that's for sure. Okay. Why not reuse them? And that is a DVI cable out the wall that's now vacant. So I have got a friend of mine, people may know him from my forum as Ben R, or Rid Bensdale. He's moving into the older place. Right, that definitely needs to come out. So what I might do is loan him this TV for a little while. Or send it to the unit, I don't know. Of course the unit is bloody heavy. that out there. So this is a cheat trick, by the way, you can do to save yourself drilling gajillions of holes to try and find joists or sinking roll plugs into the walls and things like that. Just make a block of wood on at 4 convenient corners and you're good. So theoretically that's the cable that goes to that speaker. I don't need to move that. That's the speaker that goes to that one. The worst thing I might have to do is just move these in a fraction. I'm hoping let's see if I can get that to pop out. So it goes that way one. Okay, that might cause us some problems with the one on the new set that we're going to put in place. But we'll see. Right. Okay, that's going to be just fine there. I'm going to hang that over that door. Up rather than down. Let's load up the drill and take this bracket off. So I'll give you those spanners for now. I had to go on a major search the other day for screwdriver bits. Because they go missing continuously. There you go. So that whole thing was being held on by like little bitty screws, but because they're sunk into the chipboard, I'll probably find these ones in the middle section are a bit longer, but you know, like I said, because they were actually into the chipboard and the chipboard will quite happily hold them. It's a no big deal. This other TV that I'm going to put up is a gajillion times better. All I need to do is find some washers to hang it on. That should not be a problem. Alright, where else is that being held now? One in the middle there? No? It's been held by one last one. Here we go. Ta-da! So that was that. That was the wall bracket for this big old TV. And when I bought this TV around, what are we on now? 2014, 2005, so 9 years ago. It was like 1,500 quid for a 42-inch plasma TV back then, and now it's all, well, you can buy a 42-inch for about 300 quid from Argos, a decent one. All right, let's get the other TV in here. Slide this out of the way. Try to make everything as easy as possible. I packed this up ready to go to the new place, and it went up there in a transport, and then it's come back. It has that old plasma starting to pack in and, well, become unusable. So I figured, hey, I've already bought one TV, why am I buying 3 more? There is the wall bracket for it. So that's a much simpler design wall bracket. We're just going to pop this straight on the wall up there, and that's going to solve all those problems. That should just fit in nicely behind those cables again. I just need to go and get some washers. Like that. There's the desktop stand for that TV, which we're not going to use that. That's actually pre-fitted. There's the bracket for it, so nice and easy. Manuals are in our desk stand, which we don't need. So let's leave that there. We know it works, so I'm just going to take the box out of the way. Alright, so we take the box away, and we've got some tools that we're going to need. We're going to need a spirit level, and we're going to need a tape measure, and we're going to need some washers, and these screws are going to do just fine. So put all that on there. So I guess the thing now is to just decide how high off the floor we want it. So we definitely want it to clear this bench here, and this cabinet, sorry. So what have we got there? Well, that's like three and a little bit foot. So we know the bottom of the board is, well, there, 52 inch. The TV, let's have a look. So bring it over here so you guys can see as well. Let's just tip it down a little so you can see there what I'm doing. Alright, this bench is in the way. So we've got this bracket on the back of it already. So we know that the mount frame is going to sit up to it kind of like that. Yeah, I did put those back in. That's okay. Like that. So let's get the tape measure and measure to the bottom of the bracket, which the bottom of the bracket is, we'll call it 11 inches. So the minimum height is going to be the bottom of that, which is 37 plus 11, so that's 48. 48 from the floor. There's only rough measurements. 48 from the floor is actually here, which is 4 foot. We can come up a little bit from there. So I want it a little bit lower down this time. Although where the speakers are is probably the governing factor for this. So what I'm going to do is, that's approximately centred on the back of that. So I'm just going to put it as near to the middle of the mount frame as we can. After a little bit of a camera adjustment there. Right. Have we got clearance? Let me just check something here. And that goes. Am I going to have to reroute all those cables now? It's going to be a little tight, that. Okay. So, okay, we're going to have to do a little bit more surgery here before we can begin. So these here, certainly to there, are going to have to come down. Fortunately, it just clips on. We'll just pull them. for now. And they will be fine. I'll take both sets out. To there for now. Right, okay, and for safety, obviously we'll move the TV out of the way. That's that there. I have one 39. Pretty convinced I do. Yeah. We'll use that as the centre mark, which is what it was before. So the bracket here is 18.5, so that's 9.25 either side. Yeah. So roughly, okay, that works out well. That's my mark there. Well, the best thing about this is we can also always take it down. So I'm going to put a mark on this point here, because then we can slide it along. Put a mark there. We'll drill one screw and wash it down. That hole is. And you can get away with that with these brackets. Just don't over tight. Spirit level. Into there. So we use an old trick, which is to go into the screw hole with the screw first. Reverse out, so we've got a hole, we've got a bite. Bring that up. Drop that back in the hole. That will do nicely. Ain't going nowhere. Certainly not for now, for the purposes of levelling up. And put that down there. And what we're going to do now is just check it for level. Shouldn't be too far off that. It's certainly within tolerance. That is. It's, you know, it's up a hair at that side, but it's within the lines, so you know most people would pass that off. And literally all I'm going to do is just drop the TV onto it for now and just look at where it is. So I got cable there. We may have to rewire its cable. Not sure yet. But you see on the back of here, just two clamps, two clasps, sorry, what are they called? So stick that over. Isn't going anywhere. Oh, that is on. It'll certainly hold for me to just get an idea of where everything's going on it. Can all get wiped up after. Okay, it's an AppleTV, but you know, beggars, choosers, etc. You know, I could close this gap in a little bit if I wanted to, things like that. But no, I think the height that that's at now with this speaker at this side is going to be, that's going to be just fine. That. So, and I can still get to the hole that I need to pass the plug through. So we'll take it down at this point and fix the bracket. Another thing I'm just going to have a quick look at whilst I'm here is connectors on the bottom. So I have 3 HDMIs, SCART, and then VGA with audio in, a CF card port, and I think that that's headphone out by the look of it. Yeah. Okay, that's good. If that's the case, I should be able to use the speaker setup that's on it. Okay, or I've got optical pass through that? I don't know. Is there anything on the sides? No. Could always have a look in the manual. Whoa, steady on, James. Right. Drive a couple more screws in. Tighten things up. And that bracket is safely on the wall. Yeah, that didn't go too well. So if you've never fitted one of these before, the way that I find is the best to do it is to use the sliding holes at the top and then pop the TV on and position it, and then use these fixed single holes, just go kind of centre of them. There you go, that's nice and snug. That's going nowhere. That's going nowhere. That's going absolutely nowhere at that point. Right, okay. So I'm going to do something unheard of right now for most guys. I'm going to look at the manual for the TV, because what I don't want to do is get the thing up on the wall and then to have to start messing about with what connectors I can plug in where and what outputs I've got, and I really want to use these speakers that I've still got up here. So I'm going to go consult the manual and we'll come right back and hopefully get everything up and running on the wall. Alright. So after reading this thing, called a manual apparently, which half of it fortunately is written in several foreign languages, so that's cool for us guys. It has pictures though. It turns out that I have coax out if I want, but unfortunately my surround sound speaker system doesn't have coax in. It only has PC style input, so 3.5mm jacks. That's no good. Okay, so the good news is I can still use the left and right speaker, and the sub is derived from what's going into the left and right speaker. I just can't use the centre speaker at the top here. Sorry, that's the right, actually the other speaker. I just can't use this one, so I'll have to fish this one out at this point, so let's get that done. Can't use it, no point in staying there. I feel like I'm going to end up not really living with that and end up replacing these speakers with real ones, proper ones. I mean, this was really a desktop speaker system for a PC, so okay, so let's take that off there. So what we've done is we've put some put some tape around it. Okay, so that's the doorbell. We're gonna have to go for a second. Right, so that's really inconvenient when people ring your doorbell when you're doing a TV set changeover. What's all that about? What's all that about? Anyway, let's see if we can get this one. We need to put this back on the wall first. That's the most important bit. So, what I'm going to do is pop that. That's the next stage of it. Obviously, get this back on the wall. Yeah, there we go. And then, also go nicely up there. So I just need to go get a hammer. One hammer. Here we go. Okay, so since we're going to use the headphone jack, one of the things we're going to need to do is pull some of this back through. And we're going to need the green connector there. So since it doesn't actually have to live in the wall anymore, because we're done with all that. That one does, because that's the cable that then goes down here around this trunking and out into that bass bin, which is where all the amplifying is done. So we're going to keep this one around here. So we need to put a clip just up here. We'll keep them up out of the way of the TV set. So let's get a clip. So that's ready now to go into the. We'll use wire ties to just tidy that up afterwards. So the next thing I need to do is get the Apple TV, the new one. Okay. So I love how Apple send you these things in these boxes, because they're like origami. So get that out, because the Apple TV is actually going to have to live on top of the TV set. So when you take the foil off on these, you slide the box off like that, and there's your Apple TV. Now, you your Apple TV unit. Go out of the way. Stupid bloody things. There you go, Apple TV unit. You get a remote control, and you get a power cable that's been so interestingly wound. I don't know how to describe it. Negatively, you could say it's like a dog coiled it up there. And you get an instruction manual that, well, we're never ever going to read. So, you get this lovely bit of kind of origami here on the top, which is how the thing sits on it, and the packs up. They really, not an inch, not a millimetre of space is wasted on these Apple products. And no, neither it shouldn't be. So, here is our Apple TV and its thing about, you know, opening it up, blah blah blah, such and such software usage agreements, and there's its little bit of tape around the back of it. So there's the Apple TV that we're going to install, and on the back here we have a network socket, we have HDMI, optical and power in. There's also a little micro data port thing, which is, I think, is how they can do some like in-field reflashing if you manage to brick it or something like that. Now, the one thing I do love about this, and same as the Mac Mini, and I'm not evangelising Apple products, I just happen to like a couple of certain products, and I didn't like Apple TV up until long ago, until I found out that you could use Plex Media Server with it, and a little product called Plex Connect, a little plugin. We're not going to cover how to configure that in this video. It's well documented on the net. I just feel that because it wasn't something that Apple designed you to be able to do into this device, and it is a hack, that I just feel like we shouldn't be showing that. Please go Google Plex Connect and Plex Media Server and things like that, and you'll find out exactly how to do it. I'm not even going to put a link in the description. I don't want to be seen as kind of, even though I'm going to be using it, that's my personal choice. I don't want to be evangelising and promoting the use of a third-party hackware product, specific, or by actually showing you how to do it. There's plenty of tutorials out there by other people. I have a reasonable reputation to uphold, so we'll stick to doing that. We'll stick to we'll stick to doing, you know, the good stuff. So I'm going to open this power cable up that they send you with it. So they send you, it's I don't know what the correct term for it is, but it's like a, so I call them a figure 8 cable because they look a bit like a figure 8 at the front there. That is going to need to pop through the wall because we want the Apple TV to be up here somewhere. So I'm just going to check to see if this will sit on top of the TV. And it will. It certainly will, with a tiny little bit of very tiny little amount of blue tack involved in the procedure. So we'll pop this through the wall because you can't, unfortunately, the remote control for these works on RF, infrared, works on standard radio frequency stuff. So I don't believe that you can put this remote. I don't believe you can put the, you know, there's the IR sender on the end of it. You can't put it in the cupboard, and there's no expansion or extender for the remote. So, but then again, the device is so tiny, Apple didn't foresee the need for people to be able to hide it, and that's what we're going to do. So we're going to put it on display. There's a 4-way on the wall just behind here, which is what we're going to tap into. I also have an aerial cable I'm going to bring through in a second for the TV picture. I can get free view at least in here without faffing. That will please the missus when she's here. There we go. So we have a cable which will plug in. Power is not on at the moment, so we're safe to work around blind corners and things like that. pull every bit of it through that we have for now, just getting in the way. I'll fit this TV cable through as well. Yeah, that needs to go to the bottom of the set. Let's get a bit extra. I just bought myself a little bit of, quite a bit of extra cable by the feel of it. Yeah, I need an extension cable. One of those. Off. If I need to find an extension cable for that, I will do for Freeview. That's no bother. Let's find some other important cables up here. So what's that one? As long as the... Aha! Here's the network cable that we need. One of these. I have a thing about not using Wi-Fi. I hate using Wi-Fi for fixed devices. If you walk around with it in your hand, use Wi-Fi. If you are one of those people who use the Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi dongle on a desktop computer, in my opinion only, I think you're doing it wrong, but that's up to you. You do it however you want, but you're just not getting the fastest speed possible, and that's when you moan about why your broadband's slow and all the rest of it, and you moan to people like me. Technicians in my field. My broadband's slow, use a wired connection. No, I don't want wires around my house. Well, live with a slow connection then. Simple as. Right, have we got enough cables through here? I'm going to have to find an extension cable that is not going to reach where the RF socket is, which really sucks. I'm going to have to do that. Where is it? No, I know why. Yeah, I can't do anything about that. I'll go and see if I can find an extension cable. Okay, that sucks. Somewhere I have a whole bunch of RF cables that can extend that. So anyway, let's not dwell on that one. Let's get this thing on the road, on the wall. Let's test it out. Let's get AppleTV up and running, which is what we came here to do. Alright, so it's time to lift this thing into position. Okay, we're on. Weird seems to have happened to that base. There we go. Right. Right, so there are some locking points on this bracket underneath here. The TV can't walk off the edges, that's the good news. So as long as it stays up there, oh, hang on. Oh, hello. Well, I was looking at this thing, obviously, all the way around. Lo and behold, there is enough to get the TV into. Right, so the only thing I have to do now is get this cable through the wall somehow. Okay, that's through. Alright, what do we need to do now? We need to take that cable. This cable is the audio output cable. What I'll do first of all is get the speaker that I hid there out of the way. Pop it back on its little thing. There we go. Right, so by rights, by PC 97 spec or whatever it's still called these days. I don't know. That one should go into there. Okay, and I've got that power cable there. HDMI cable. So I'm going to do this rough for now. Oh, let's put that into, what I think is HDMI 3. Oh, sorry, 1. Oh, it was right way around before. Okay. There we go, we're in. So, then I can send that one at the back of there and up it over the top like so. And I can do similar now with power and with network, which is now all up there. So I think what we should do now is just pop those out of the way and fire up this TV and make sure it still works after it's been moved around a whole bunch of times and things like that. So I'm just going to click that. And we need the remote to turn it on. So here we go, first time all in one take, hopefully, well, a couple of takes. Well, power buttons come on, okay. Now this will previously have been set to come back onto VGA because that's what we were using to distribute video signal in the old layer. So yeah, VGA PC, there's a good sign. So let's find input source. I'll tell you what, let's do menu. Is there a setup? Doesn't matter. Let's go there. There we go, system lock, menu language, menu duration, reset to default, software update, USB. Why don't we go ahead and do a reset to default, right? Reset menu system, reset TV channels. Are you sure? Yes, resetting, please wait. Okay, so it wants us to now do a tuning. Country UK, environment, economy, eco home. Make sure you want to leave eco home mode. Yes. Well, okay, you only have two settings, eco home and demo. So I'll set it to eco home. Okay. Connect your RF cable to the TVs, import RF in and to your TV aerial socket, select the required language, which is UK, English UK, press OK to remote control to start tuning. Alright. If you're experiencing any difficulty, act today, yada yada yada, to exit this notice. Right, so that's now scanning the UK analog and digital TV bands. So I'm just going to leave that for a second. It's got a nice little progress bar and everything. It amazes me with all these TVs now, how much user interface is actually built into them. Excuse me. I've got one of those summer cold things coming on a little bit. So there's some hum going on down there on that bass bin, but I think that's probably because we haven't got a signal going into it properly. I can suppress that. This is the analog. Go on, 12. And, you know, it always looks like it's going to find something when it does that. So you know what? This is going to take it a little while to scan all the TV channels and things. So I'm going to cut the video here, and we'll come right back when it's finished doing this, and hopefully that'll be the TV channels all tuned in. We can have a quick flick through that and set some settings, and then I can pop the Apple TV on and show you the cool stuff at that point. Anyway, we just wanted to test the RF side of it first. Okay, I'll be right back in a few minutes. Yes, that's the tuning done. It's reported a whole bunch of channels. Let's see what we've got. So I've turned the volume down, check that. There you go, you can tell the volume works and it comes out of these speakers beautifully. Let's have a quick scan through. So I've got ITV, we've got something called catchphrase on it. Oh, let's have a look. TV guide, let's press that. That'll tell us what we've got. So channel wise, we have got, and it's downloading the program guide at the moment, I would imagine. So ITV, channel 4, BBC 3, it's got that, BBC 4, ITV 3, I don't know if you can page down. Is there a page down on this? Prev day, next day, country display, more view, remind. Nope, no chart, no page down. Okay, fair enough. Pick, Dave, blah 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 blah. Yeah, well, those are all there. Looks like we've got all of them. All the local ones around here. Ooh, quite a while ago now they changed and they turned off all the analog channels now. Even have Television X and the adult Smile TV on there. Wow, how many adult channels do you need on a Freeview system? Go get Sky. Right, okay. So I'm not sure what's going on there. 301. This is 302. Okay, so these are all TV programs. If I go into There must be a source button. I've got in. Oh, come back. Source. As long as I scroll down, what have I got? USB media, Freeview, analog, SCART, component, VGA, HDMI, video, USB media. Okay. So how do I get to the radio channels? Is there a radio button on here? Oh yeah, there's a radio button. So I've never used this TV for anything more than just displaying a PC picture, which is how we ran the video system. If I do volume, there's radio 1, swap channels, radio 1 extra, radio 2, radio 3. Hopefully there's a guide button. If I press guide, oh yeah, there's even a guide. This is a bit of an exploratory for me because you're never sure what you're actually getting. So let's have a look. We've got all BBC channels, the hits, Kiss Fresh, that's usually quite good. Kiss, Kistery, Magic. How many Kiss channels do we need? Heat, Kerrang, Smooth Read, Smooth Radio. Absolute, I'll do. Heart, that's pretty alright. If only they had Absolute 80s on here, I would be in heaven. But they haven't. So what we'll do is we'll go back to here to, let's go Kiss Fresh, that'll do. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Anyway, so the next step along now, so exit that, and if I go back to DTV, yeah. So now we're back to TV. What I'll do now is just turn the volume off for a second. Now theoretically, I'm going to hook up Apple TV now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this, I think it's on HDMI 1, we'll know in a second. I'll take some of these cables, bring back over the box. I'm going to put the box up there, so I'll plug in the HDMI first. I'll plug in the network as well, wherever that's decided to hide. There. Like so. And now I will plug in the power. So I'll just get that underneath there. That's all good. You notice straight away there's a light comes on. I'll not worry about tidying the cables up just this second. Nothing I'm interested in doing is getting access to it now. So I'll just pop that up there. And what we have to do now is just find the channel that it's on. So I will go to source, and I think it should be on HDMI 1, which is that one. If I'm right, yes, Apple TV, there we go. Turn the volume up because we can do volume on this. The reason I kept the volume down obviously is because I don't want to get hit for copyright infringement and things like that. You know, a few seconds here and there, I don't think anybody's going to...
Welcome to Apple TV. To use VoiceOver with your Apple TV, press the small button located on the lower right of your remote 3 times.
I'm not going to do that. I'm going to get the Apple TV remote for here. Now the good thing about this is you can use an iPad or an iPhone with this. And I'm going to show you something real cool in a second. So I'm going to select English. So I'm using their remote. There you go. And I'm going to select English. And it says here, use an iPhone, iPad or iPod Touch using iOS 7 to automatically set up your Apple TV, unlock your device, enable Bluetooth and touch the Apple TV with it. So let's do that. So I'm going to go to there. I'm going to flick that up. I'm going to tap the Bluetooth icon on my phone. And then I'm going to basically put that up there for a second, because that's what it says. I think it's just a proximity thing, and touch this Apple TV with it. Okay, enable Bluetooth, which I've done, and touch this Apple TV. Oh, hang on, do you have to? You have to unlock, sorry. Do apologise, didn't do that. Unlock, Bluetooth is enabled, and touch the top of the TV. There you go. automatic setup. Set up your Apple TV, enter your Apple ID and password on James's iPhone 5. So we'll take that off there. So now it's presenting me with a screen now, and it already knows my Apple ID, and I'm not going to show you this on screen for obvious reasons. I'm going to put my password in here now for the iTunes store. Remember password? Yes, I would like Apple TV to remove my password, send data to Apple, go for it, I don't care. Set up your Apple TV, connecting, and in a second, activating, contacting activation server, accessing iTunes store. Ta-da! Give it a moment, because it's connected via Wi-Fi and via, I think what it's doing is rebooting, and we're loading, and here we go. Okay, great. So we now have Apple TV. What I'll do, I don't think it's running. I'll be right back in 1 second. I'm going to go and start iTunes on the Mac. Okay. So that was painless. So theoretically, if I go to computers, home sharing, would you like to join James at Computer Geek on home sharing on this Apple TV? Yes. The Apple will automatically find the iTunes libraries that have home sharing turned on, and using the Apple ID me. Make sure you use the same Apple ID. Okay. So iMac 27 library. So cool. That's my iMac in the other room. And now, so let me go down to here, so let's say albums, and just for argument's sake I'm going to go to search, and I'm going to go MEGAB Megabase. Not sure what that is. Hit the next volume one.
And now, you will witness the ultimate challenge in the final conflict.
And that's playing straight off my library. That's playing straight off the library on the Mac in the other room. So for those of you that don't know some of the cool stuff that you can do, I'm just going to spend 2 minutes on this at maximum. You can use Apple's remote app, and this should now find a second Apple TV that I'm unpaired with, which is that one, I hope. Connecting to Apple TV. Yep, that's that one. Now I've got 2 Apple TVs on my network, but what you can do now is I can type in to that side, and it now lets me use the keyboard on the phone to type in things. So if I go hit the decks, like so, aha, there's hit the decks. Now, if I go, enter, that takes me to that side. I can now scroll down to volume 3 and tap OK, and I can go, for argument's sake, let me go tap on that one. And that's playing that now. Big fan of the old school Megabase style mixes. Okay, the other thing I can do on here is, I'm in remote mode. I can tap done up here because I've paired with the device. Come on. There you go, iMac 27 library. And I can now see the entire library on the thing in a nice, friendly, scrollable fashion. If I go that way, oh no, it's not that way, it's more. If I go to albums, I get to see all that. It will eventually cache all the album arts for me. If I turn that way, it should give me cover flow, or it's supposed to do. Maybe it doesn't. It used to give you cover flow, I'm certain it did. Never mind, anyway. But the best thing about this is now I can scroll up and down here, and I can find other albums. So for example, let me find something else. All the Right Reasons, Nickelback. one of my older favourites from a few years ago. There you go, Rockstar. And I selected that off the iPhone. And you can do the same thing with your iPad and use cover flow and things like that, so you can actually see. That doesn't seem to be wanting to flip cover flow, but never mind. It's not really that big a deal. Tap on album, you're back to the album thing and select a different track. Pause that. Right, okay. So that's all the stuff that you can also, if I go, and to be honest, I actually find that using the remote sometimes a little bit easier for me than tapping on things. Hold down the menu key, which is the left hand one, and you go right back to the top. The one thing you can do in this, and that I don't like that Apple have done, to be quite honest, about Apple TV, is that they've made it almost so that they don't want you to find your own media anymore. This is my gripe about it. They want you to basically, anything that's in movies, TV shows or music is actually from the App Store, not from your device, so don't get caught out by that one. So if I go to, for example, movies, like so, right, and go to purchase at the top, it'll probably come back with no data because I don't think I've ever purchased a movie off iTunes. You have not purchased any items, right? So go back, I'll go music because I know I've definitely purchased music stuff. Purchased. Purchased. It should have a. Oh, albums. So if I click on albums, here's my stuff that I've purchased. So I've purchased things like Electro House Sessions and what was that? David Guetta, Picture of Abrasucker, Hardest Way to Make an Easy Living, and so on and so on and so on. So I've purchased a number of albums direct to iTunes. So I don't. Anybody who wants to try and go, ooh, he hasn't bought a lot of iTunes. He plays a lot of digital media. Anybody who wants to try that one on, I do actually buy a lot of CDs and just convert them straight to digital format, so I can play them back out. I actually quite like buying the physical media version of something as well as getting the electronic version. And with that many devices going around, and iPhones and iPads and things like that, it's great to have, all of it as. Just available to you. You'll tap that, and that is very good. So that is now streaming straight off the App Store, but my broadband is absolute pants here. So there we go. Give it a second to buffer. There you go. So that's now playing, and I can go back a track. And the best thing about these albums is that sometimes you get a bonus sort of whole version of it as a continuous mix. And there you go, that's the continuous mix version of it, just now streaming direct from iTunes. I already have this actually on the media system here, so in the library in the other room. This whole thing unifies everything I can do. Right, so now I'm going to do the clever bit and get Plex to work. So this is going to take me about 2 minutes, and I'm going to pause the camera whilst I do the setup on this side because it's already set up for the other Apple TV. I'm also going to rename this Apple TV as well in configuration, just so that there's no confusion about which one I'm trying to control or send things to. Okay, right, so we'll be back in just a second. Okay, and we're back, and in the meantime I've done an Apple software update. I've renamed the Apple TV to Bedroom TV, and that's done just in settings in general, and then there's an option there and you can change it to a number of well-known things or give it a custom name anyway. Right, so I've done all the background hacking and stuff. Arrange main menu items. To arrange or hide a selected item on the main menu, press and hold select until the item... right, so you can then press the directional buttons to move it, or press play pause for options. Okay, right, so anyway, so what happens is basically your trailers app gets hijacked, and there you go, that's now set up. So I can go now to arcade, and in video, all videos here, this is now basically ready for me to play. So I'll hit play on that, Chasing Ghosts. It says accessing trailers. There you go. Now we're now playing chasing ghosts straight off my media server. The difference that you have to know is that the reason to do this is because, and I'll pause that, the reason to do this is because Apple do not want you to play MKV, AVI, etc, etc, etc. And there's probably a whole bunch of logical reasons behind that, one of which is probably their partnerships with Lovefilm and Netflix. And I ranted about them at the beginning and said, you know, why are you going to go to your DVD library that's sat here and stick it in the player? Well, there's two reasons. Well, convenience is one, and two, you don't have to watch those boring copyright notices anymore. I took a decision to not have media a long time ago, and I do own physical media. I own pretty much every DVD. In fact, I think I do own every DVD that I've got in my library of DVDs. Yes, of course, one or two we receive via download links and things like that, but mostly it's the arcade stuff for that. Those are in AVI, MKV, X264, you name it, different formats. What Plex Media Server does is it will auto transcode on the fly, so it will convert it into a format that Apple TV can recognise and can play back. And the beauty about it, also a lot of things as well, is Plex is now being integrated into smart TV. So if you have a TV with smart apps on it, and you have Netflix and you have Lovefilm, there are ways to get Plex Media onto a lot of those devices. And then you can talk to your own network. There's a big thing, and it's all, oh, if you can play your own stuff, you can play pirated stuff, and you are not paying for it. And I just think that's a lot of crap. And you should be able to play any piece of media that you want to play on any device, and it shouldn't be up to some blood-sucking corporation what you can and can't do. And that's my view on it, and that is only my opinion on it. So that's it. Anyway, so I can now have all my library of movies, TV, everything that I've collected for forever, without having to transcode the whole lot into a very bulky H.264 format in different containers, and then not get the atom tags on the back end that we need to make them show up properly in iTunes and things like that. So if you download a video off iTunes Store, you can and it's in MP4 format, you can actually put it straight into your iTunes video library, index it, and it will show up in your videos. But you know, at the end of the day, most films aren't downloaded in that format. Most films or TV shows that people want to watch are obtained in ultra compressed H.264 and with various other container wrappers around and with AC3 and things like that. You need something that can play it, and that's what Plex does. It basically, it's like having that whole extra layer. It's the missing component, and it makes a device like Apple TV, which is a tiny little lightweight thing that's sat up here, so much more accessible for you. You get a whole bunch of other stuff, but nobody really cares about it. One of the things you can access YouTube, so if I go to there, I can actually log into my YouTube account if I want to, or I can search. So let's just have a little search here for, let's have a look for John's Arcade. I don't mind giving him Black Dog 7. Let's have a look. Donkey Kong 3. There we go. How to fix dead arcade game. There you go. And that's one of John's Arcade videos. And I'll just start streaming. And hey, best bit of accessibility you could ever want. Okay, so there's one other thing I'm going to show you that you can do. So get out to that, back to the main menu. I'm going to show you one other thing that you can do with Apple TV. I just find my iPad. You can work with an iPhone as well, but one of the great things that you can do with this is send your display output. So if I go that and enable AirPlay to bedroom Apple TV, one of the things I can do is I can turn on mirroring, and my iPad display is now up there, all over there. So I could load my Simpsons up if I wanted to, some reason it's gone upside down. I don't quite know why. There we go. Never had that happen before. If it didn't take such a damn long time to load, it would be a fantastic game. There you go. And I can, if I really want to, I can show the output basically. Obviously you can't tap on the screen and it affect the iPad, but it's great as a presentation tool. And there we go, we're logged in. Let's just get my Springfield. If anybody wants to add me, by the way, on here, I am Jimbarino69, Jimbarino69. Do add me and join my town and come and swap stuff with me, because when I do all the big events things, we run around and we we collect things for each other and drop off things and do presents and etc, etc. So it should take a second. I'm behind because I haven't been playing for a few days, but you can tell it's my town. It's branded RGP. There we go. Anyway, so that was a bit of a shameless plug for my Springfield and everything, but I just wanted to show what you can do with this. One of the big things that we have, we do, one of the things that me and Carol, me and my girlfriend are big on, is using FaceTime to talk to each other. One of the things we can do with mirroring on is I can put that device down here if my case wasn't being such an idiot, and I could sit that when I put this cabinet back in place and put that on there, and then she can appear on the big screen and everything, and that'd be fantastic, because then we can just look straight at each other rather than tiny little screens like here down here. Ooh, steady, scary. Oh yeah, hang on. Yeah, need a shave. Quality's not great on the iPad camera because it's low light at the moment. If I turn the lights on, it'd be a hell of a lot better. If I had a better case, it'd be a lot better. And if I got my iPad, if I got my iPad 3 out, that'll be even better as well. You don't have to have mirroring on. You can go to pretty much anything that supports playback. So I'll go into the YouTube interface on here. And I'll go my subscriptions. What's that one? Oh yeah, so we'll use Joe from from the Arcade Outsiders podcast. And so that's now starting to play back, and it will automatically, because I had output turned on, that is now automatically onto there, and the volume isn't controlled by your iPad anymore. It's controlled by the TV. So the TV volume, I can stop, play, pause and render scrub. And I believe if I use the Apple TV remote, you can actually scrub, which is something that not many people have ever been able to do with YouTube. You can scrub straight through a video with it. Anyway, I just wanted to show you the benefits of things that you can do, and I've exited that now by using the menu command. Some of the things that you can do with Apple TV, and this whole experiment was to do more with changing over the bedroom TV to this, and we're into low light. Let me just stick the light on now. Wow, we've used up quite a bit of the... That's better. We've used up quite a bit of the day actually doing this, but we did have an interruption and have to go find some things and some cables and stuff. As you can see, that's a conversion from an old plasma TV, which is down there, including changing the bracket over in, well, however long I edit this video down to, which probably will be about 15 minutes, 20 minutes, something like that. Anyway, so I promised. Anyway, we'll do. Yeah, we'll end it there, and I'll do the other video. I'll show you the other place later in the week before I hand the keys back. It looks desolate in there now. It's been completely emptied, and I know I put some stuff on the back end of the last video, but there's still some stuff sitting around and things like that. Anyway, so that's it from me. If you're interested in knowing more about this, please do ask me any questions in the comments below the video down there. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel and you just stumbled across it from a search, please do subscribe. We do all sorts of things to do with arcade gaming and repairs of arcade games, as well as actually playing them as well. And also, if you don't know about it, check out the big arcade project for the UK at www.retrogamesparty.co.uk and follow the links from the homepage, and that'll take you to the announcement videos and things like that we did about the massive 2,000 square foot arcade that we're building at the moment for everybody to come to and play at. So until the next video, also if you want to hit me on Twitter as well, you can do it at RGPUK. Follow us on there and also on Facebook, www.facebook.com/retrogamesparty. So that's all the shilling for the social media out of the way now. Right, I'm going to have some fun now and tidy up in here because the place is a little bit of a mess, and I've deliberately positioned the camera so you can't see certain bits of the room. Have a great day, and I'll see you all in the next video. Don't forget to comment below, do like the video, and do hit the subscribe button if you want to see more videos from us, and you get them every time we upload. You get them in your inbox. Okay, till then, have a great day.